Yo, what up, people? Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to my video, guys. If you haven't did so yet, please subscribe to the channel. And also, too, hit that notification button so you know when I put up another video. Guys, also, too, as well, please check out my website. Check out what I have on my website. I have tons of great information that can possibly help you out and your family as well. You know what I'm saying? Click the link in my profile. But thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to my video. Today we're gonna be talking about the zip code, man, and how they are tricking people into paying for outrageous prices for stamps, guys. The zip code. The US the US zip code is voluntary, guys. Just like paying taxes are voluntary, you know what I'm saying? All these things that are becoming very cost effect like costly to you. A lot of this stuff, traffic tickets, all this stuff is voluntary. You do not have to pay this stuff, you know what I'm saying? You do not have to use a zip code on your mail. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get into it, man. The use of the zip code is voluntary. See domestic mail service regulations section 122 dot 32. You should also know that the postal service cannot discriminate against the non-use of a zip code. See Postal Reorganization Act section 403, Public Law 91-375. You know what I'm saying? The use of a zip code is voluntary. See, what they do is when you use a zip code, you know what I'm saying? That puts you under their jurisdiction. That you reside under the jurisdiction of the U.S. corporation or the District of Columbia. So while you're using that zip code and you're abbreviating things, they have a what is it called, a trademark on those abbreviations. You know what I'm saying? They own that. You know what I mean? So when you use that, you're telling them that you live in the District of Columbia. You know what I'm saying? So the federal government utilizes the zip code to prove that you reside in the Federal District of Columbia. This is why the IRS and other government agencies, state and federal, require a zip code when they assert jurisdiction by sending you a letter. Facts. This is how they assert jurisdiction. You know what I'm saying? You get anything from a court or anything like that, this is how they're getting jurisdiction because you keep saying you are a resident. You are not a resident. You are an inhabitant. You are a domicile. You know what I'm saying? So they claim that this speeds the mail, but this is a sly and subtitle trick. It is also prima facie evidence that you are a subject of Congress and a citizen of the District of Columbia who is resident in one of the several states. The recipient of a mail with a zip code is one of the requirements for the IRS to have jurisdiction to send you notices. The government cannot bill a citizen of Illinois because he is not within the purview of the municipal laws of the District of Columbia. In fact, the Internal Revenue Service has adopted the zip code area as Internal Revenue Districts. See Federal Register, Volume 51, Number 53, Wednesday, March 19th, 1986. See, there's two things going on. You know what I'm saying? You got the Postal Service, that's a corporation, and then you got the Post Office. We want to utilize the Post Office. The Post Office goes back to the horse and carriage days. You know what I'm saying? Is ancient. You know, it goes way back, and that's actually part of the United States of America Republic. Uh, there's only one person that works at the post office at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because they have dissolved the post office. It's the postmaster. He's the only one who works in the post office now. but it still exists and you can still utilize it. You know what I'm saying? And you can still mail for 2 cents per half ounce. And 2 cents, sometimes I use 3 cents, you know what I'm saying? Because I got a bunch of them. But you must remember that the Postal Service is a private corporation, quasi governmental agency. It is no longer a full government agency. It is like a Federal Reserve System. The Internal Revenue Service and United States Marshal Service, they are all outside the restrictions of the federal Constitution as private corporations. They are all powerful in their respective areas and responsibilities to enforce collection of federal debt. So if you are using a zip code, you are in effect saying openly and notoriously that you do not live in the state of Illinois, but instead you are a resident in the Illinois area of District Columbia, a federal district. There are some so-called patriots that I consider to be patriots for money. They are advocates to use of Title 42 suits, which are for federal citizens only. Send the mail to you with a zip code and ask you do things that place you within the municipal jurisdiction of the District of Columbia. Remember, these individuals may be agents of the government or even worse, are advocating a one world governed by the use of social security numbers and zip codes. So you must be aware of the movement towards a one world government through elimination of state citizens by the use of so-called 14th Amendment and its related laws. So we're going to continue on. And you can stop and pause and read that. I'm not going to read all that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go continue on. A zip code is a numerical code that identifies an area within the United States and it is territories for purpose of F CF.26 CFR 1.1-1C. And I'm gonna go into some formats that you can use to get your mail through for 2 cents. It says here the zip code can only be applicable in federal territories enclaves that may be located within the 50 states of the Union and the United States District of Columbia territories. So you do not want to use a zip code. Okay, so I'm gonna go into some examples. I'm gonna go through some examples here. Here goes some examples of ways to format your letter. You can try these formats, but I'm going to show you a format that is that's been the rate is higher, and I rarely get any returns. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you do use a zip code, and you have to use a zip code, you know what I'm saying? You always want to put it in brackets. As you can see, this person here put the zip code in brackets. Why? Because when you put a zip code in brackets, you know what I'm saying? Uh, it takes it off the paper. It no longer exists on the letter. You know what I'm saying? Anything in brackets removes it from the paper. So if you know are signing any type of one-sided adhesion contract and you put brackets around it, it takes it off the paper. And then what you want to do if you sign a contract as such, you want to initial it and date it and put it in brackets, or you can cross it out. You know what I'm saying? Um, so back to the formats. These are some formats that you can use. As you can see here, this person didn't use a zip code. This person, like I said, this person uses zip code, but he put it in brackets. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to do if you decide you want to use a zip code. You want to put it in brackets because again, it takes it off the paper. And they're tricking people, man. The rate of postage at this time is $73 since they are charging people who use a zip code. You know what I'm saying? These are the rates people are using when you're saying you are a resident of the U.S. corporation. You have to pay. That's almost $1 a stamp. That's insane. That's insane. And they're using trickery and it's called word magic to trick people into, you know, buying stamps that uh, you really don't need them. Now, when you're using these formats, you're able to mail to person to person. Also, too, I haven't had a problem mailing to corporate entities this way. Now, some corporate entities might return your mail because what you're doing is you're mailing from another country. You know what I'm saying? You are a non as you are actually nationals and you're not U.S. citizen. You are a non-resident alien to the U.S. corporation. So if you're mailing that format to a corporation, sometimes they might send it back because, especially to government agencies, you know what I'm saying? They might send it back because you're mailing from a different country. You know what I'm saying? I've had that happen. Like I tried mailing to like the IRS, you know what I'm saying? And they sent it right back. You know what I mean? They sent it right back. So, you know, you might have that issue. You can try it. You might be successful, but you're gonna have more success not mailing to corporate government entities and mailing to just regular businesses. You know what I'm saying? I haven't really had an issue with that. I've had um, some mail come back like one, maybe two pieces. I've been doing this for years. I've been mailing this way for years, so I've had a couple pieces come back. And what you want to do is, just put it back in the mailbox. You know what I'm saying? Put it back in the mailbox. Now, let's see. Now I'm gonna show you guys the format that I use. Okay, pretend this is a envelope right here, right? And up here in the top corner, the return address, you want to always spell everything out. You know what I'm saying? Spell everything out. You put your name and then you put sui juris. Now, what juris means, let's go here. Sui juris means one of one's own right and refers to a person who is legally competent to handle its own affairs. Learn how sui juris is used in churches, secular law, and government, and see examples of sui juris. It's one who can handles his own affairs. You know what I'm saying? You're no longer a minor. You can handle your own business, your own affairs, so on and so forth. But this is the format. You got John Doe, sui juris, right here. You put your name and you put the two dots. I forgot what you call it. Then you do comma, sui juris, in care of the two dots, your address. Spell it all the way out, and then you put the city, your city, and your state, republic, because you're coming from the republic. You're not coming from the District of Columbia, abbreviating things. So you put non-domestic. Mouse is acting stupid. Non-domestic without the U.S. This is clearly telling them. I'll put another dot here. It's clearly telling them what you're trying to accomplish here and where your mail is coming from. You know what I'm saying? So you're clearly stating a lot of stuff has to do with like format and how to properly sign things and how to properly format things. Because you got two things. You got two things. It's two of everything. You got two post office. You got the money is a dual note. You got two police officers. You got the peace officer, and you got the policy enforcer. Um, you got two governments. You know what I'm saying? It's two of everything. It's two U's. You got the U.S. citizen U, and then you got the national U, which you have to reclaim. Um, there's two U's going on and everything. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to move as a national. That's what everybody are, nationals. So This is the way you want to format your letter. Let's continue on. And then the recipient, you want to put their name, their address, city and state, and then republic. You notice how I didn't use a zip code and abbreviate, because that puts you under the jurisdiction of the District of Columbia. You're telling them the way you format your letters, you know what I'm saying? You're telling them and you letting everybody know that you know, and that you are mailing from a different, you are a foreigner. You are a foreign national, we are foreign national, and you are mailing from a foreign country. Facts. When you use this format, and this is why you're able to pay 2 cents, 3 cents for a stamp. Not for a stamp, for a letter, the metal letter. And with this format, I haven't really had no issues or anything coming back. Now, I had a situation where I was mass mailing. I was doing some, I was selling products online, mass mailing and stuff like that, doing some promotion. And I tried using this format to get the word out. And I think it's a limit to how much you can mail. I think it's 50 letters a day or something like that, because anything over 50 letters, then it becomes commercial. And once you step in the commercial realm, then you have to pay the 79 cents for mass mailing. Now, when you're dealing with mass mailing, this format is not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Now you're jumping into the commercial world. Now you're not using it to mail one person to another or a regular corporation. Now you're mass mailing, and that's considered commerce. And then you have to pay 74 cents per stamp. But yeah, so situation. Um, I was mass mailing, didn't know at the time, and everything was going smooth at first, and then all of a sudden, I started getting letters coming back to my PO box, and I kept trying it, and then they started coming back. You know what I'm saying? For postage due. You know what I'm saying? So um, I ended up calling the ended up having a conversation with the postmaster. I think she was the postmaster, and you know, they sent me a letter. First, they sent me a letter on the Reorganization Act. Excuse me, the Reorganization Act, and I sent it back, and I wrote on the front of it, "I do not consent to this. This does not apply to me." You know what I'm saying? I'm not a U.S. citizen. I am not a resident. This this doesn't apply to me. So I sent it back. So I continued to got my mail. My mail kept coming back to me. You know, so uh, I ended up getting in contact with the postmaster. It took me about almost 2 weeks to get in contact with her, because she kept playing around on the phone. So I finally got her on the phone, and she's talking all loud, and you know, she's talking about, "Are you a sovereign citizen?" And I told her there's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. I am a national. There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen, people. You can't be sovereign and a citizen. Citizen means subject. Subject means slave. So you can't be a citizen. You know what I'm saying? So on. Now a state citizen, let me explain. A state citizen with the capital C is totally different from U.S. citizen with the small c. Everything is small. You know what I'm saying? You are claiming your state, your allegiance to your state. You know what I'm saying? You are reconnected to the land, uh, and once you're reconnected to the land, that means you're connected to a nation. Totally different than a U.S. citizen. U.S. citizen takes their allegiance to the District of Columbia and only has privileges. So anyway, she's getting all loud on the phone with me. Now I'm getting frustrated and upset, because you know I'm spending money on envelopes and stuff like that, and um, paper to mail these letters. So she's talking about she's gonna call the police, and you know, you and she was like, "Oh, you probably one of those. You just don't have a driver's license." Da, da, da. I said, "No, I don't." I said, "I exercise my right to travel, and I have the right to travel." She's like, "I'm gonna call the police." Well, she never did. I could have got her for you know you know, threatening me. That's a form of threat, but I let it slide. But anyway, she's like, you can't mail this way. The Reorganization Act, da da da. She said, I don't, and I was like, no, that don't apply to me. I'm not a U.S. citizen. And she's like, you got to use a zip code. I said, no, you don't. And then she's like, then she left and she came back. She's like, no, you're right about the zip code. You don't have to use a zip code. That might have been her slick way of saying that I can mail this way. So a week later, I just mailed off some letters to my aunt, and they went through. So, but I threatened her. I had to threaten her and tell her that I'm gonna file a complaint with the state attorney or attorney general if you don't push my letters through. So she ended up she ended up agreeing because I don't have an issue with my mail now. It goes through, and that's what you got to do with some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because first they're gonna test you. You're gonna get tested, and you got to stand on business, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them boss you around. You're the boss. They work for you. People at the post office work for you. You know what I'm saying? All these government officials work for you. The police officers, well, they're not really police officers. Policy enforcers, they work for you. So, but this is the way you want to format your letters to get your letter sent for 2 cents. And you format it this way now. Say, for instance, you want to mail a letter to, I don't know, the phone company or gas company or whatever, right? You don't want to use their letters that they give you. You want to mail your own. Because when you use theirs, then that puts you under the district of Columbia. But you just want to do something like, they'll have a zip code like 21534, and then just put it in brackets, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you don't use a zip code at all, the mail kind of seem like it takes a little bit longer to get there, but it'll get there. It'll definitely get there. You know what I'm saying? But try it out. You can use this format. Try this format as well. Make sure you put it in brackets. That takes it off the paper, and that's it, man. That's my take, man. Thank you for tuning in, and that's how you mail a letter for 3 cents. Please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification button.